suppose I'd never drunk coffee before and I had about that much ground coffee. That would keep me awake all day, basically. If I took it in the evening, I would stay awake all night. Suppose also that I had never smoked a cigarette before, and I smoked a cigarette. I mean, how much does a cigarette weigh? Maybe 5 grams, probably less. But that would have a major effect on me. I mean, I don't smoke now, but I used to smoke one cigarette every calendar year, and it used to whoomph, you know, it was amazing. And there are various other things as well. Now, both of those are herbs. Cigarettes, probably tobacco, is not a very useful herb. Caffeine in the form of coffee is a more useful herb. Now, I want to talk today about the burden of proof in herbalism, because I see herbalism partly as a form of self-sufficiency, and I also see it as something that obviously works. People come to me and I say I'm treating for blood pressure, so take their blood pressure, one of these. I'm going to demonstrate this sometime, by the way, and or you know, I listen to their peristalsis, using this to time how fast food is moving down their esophagus in order to judge overactive thyroid or underactive thyroid, or I will do a peak flow meter for sort of judging their asthma, that sort of thing. Measure it, treat them, measure it again afterwards, say like a month later or something, and it's gone down. And it's very reliable that it's gone down. Obviously nobody's perfect, everyone makes mistakes, but on the whole, that's what happens. So when I hear that herbalism doesn't work, I'm sort of thinking, well, where are you getting this from? Because my experience tells me that it does work, and I don't understand why people think it doesn't. Another thing is, it's dramatically counterintuitive to suppose that herbalism doesn't work, because carrots, those are herbs, they contain a lot of provitamin A. Other herbs, Brussels sprouts, large amounts of folic acid. If you had a malnutrition, a specific vitamin deficiency of some kind, and you were to eat a lot of carrots, say if you had vitamin A night blindness would go away, wouldn't it? If you had, say you were worried about neural tube defects in your child and you were pregnant, you eat a lot of folic acid in the form of Brussels sprouts and you prevented that from happening. So I find it rather strange that people claim that herbalism doesn't work, because it sort of suggests that food is not nutritional, and that I don't understand. Okay, so the next thing is it dangerous? Well, sometimes it is dangerous, yes, in the same way as if you took an overdose of paracetamol or any other ordinary drug, you would find it was dangerous and you would get liver damage, for example, and all that other stuff. So yeah, of course it's dangerous, but the thing is, if something is going to have a marked physiological effect, like for example, deadly nightshade, then in a smaller quantity it's going to have a useful physiological effect, for example, in the treatment of asthma. And so the mere fact that it happens to be poisonous is not really the point, because drugs are poisonous, but they're safe in low doses. So the next question is, why use herbs rather than the purified ingredients? Well, an example of a purified ingredient would be white sugar. Now white sugar is going to be digested, absorbed, turned into glucose, plough its way through the Krebs cycle, and use up various elements in the form of magnesium, calcium and so forth, and thereby deplete the amount of calcium and magnesium in the body and so forth. Right, and that sort of thing happens. Also, refined carbohydrates move very slowly through the gut, and therefore will tend to clog things up. You've got constipation, that kind of thing. And so that's what you're talking about when you refine herbs into the pure equivalents. Also, do you have a sort of safety effect? Like, for example, well-known quoted example is meadowsweet, which contains tannins which prevent stomach hemorrhage, which is what you get from salicylic acid, which is in meadowsweet, if you take it unprotected, and so forth. So basically my 4 minutes are up, and what I'm saying is, the burden of proof in herbalism is not on us herbalists, because we see it working and we can clinically demonstrate that. We don't have very large samples because we're very unpopular. The burden of proof is on the people that claim it doesn't work or that it's dangerous, because that is dramatically counterintuitive, and I just don't get why people say that.